Adam was given the opportunity to be immortal, but when he decided to disobey God, he was told that he will be dust again and that he would cease to exist. What would happen to those who would die after Adam? When Jesus found out that his friend Lazarus had died, he did not affirm that Lazarus had gone to heaven. Rather, he said, "Our friend Lazarus is asleep." What did he mean? Just as a person is asleep, they do not perform any activity or realize what is happening around them, the dead do not realize anything. And just as it is possible to wake a sleeping person, the Bible shows that Jesus awakened some people from death. That was precisely what Jesus did for his friend Lazarus. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. If he had continued living after dying and had gone to heaven, would Jesus have forced him out of there to bring him back to earth? The answer is no. Lazarus was asleep in the grave, and Jesus brought him back to life and reunited him with his family. The Bible promises that a day will come when many people who have died will be resurrected, as happened with Lazarus. Jesus spoke of this magnificent hope when he said, "He who exercises faith in me, even though he dies, he will come to life." In order to better understand this topic, let's see what the Bible says about it. In the beginning, God formed man from dust and the breath of life. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, it says, "And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being." When a person dies, the body goes back to the dust and the spirit goes back to God. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7 says, "Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it." The spirit that returns to God at death is the breath of life, or his power. Job chapter 27, verse 3 helps us understand this better. It says, "As long as my breath is in me, and the breath of God in my nostrils, surely my lips shall not speak unrighteousness." And James chapter 2, verse 26 says, "For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also." A soul is a living being. Dust plus the breath of life equals the soul. We do not have souls, but rather we are souls. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7 says, "And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being." According to the Bibles, souls actually die. In Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 20, it says, "The soul who sins shall die." So, according to the Bible, humans do not have immortality. Only God does. The Bible uses the word soul several hundred times, but never uses the word immortal soul together. People do not immediately go to heaven or hell when they die. They go to the grave until the day when Christ comes and resurrects them again. Listen to what the Bible says in John chapter 5, verse 28 and 29. "Do not marvel at this, for the hour is coming, in which all who are in the graves will hear his voice and come forth, those who have done good to the resurrection of life, and those who have done evil to the resurrection of condemnation." Another important point that I'm going to share with you is that the dead cannot communicate with the living, nor are they aware of what the living are doing. In Job chapter 14, verses 12 and 21, Job speaks of a man dying. He says, "So man lies down and does not rise, till the heavens are no more. They will not awake nor be roused from their sleep. His sons come to honor, and he does not know it. They are brought low, and he does not perceive it." Other verses in the Bible also indicate that the dead do not know anything. Listen to this. "The dead do not praise the Lord, nor any who go down into silence. His spirit departs, he returns to this earth. In that very day his plans perish. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love, their hatred, and their envy have now perished. Nevermore will they have a share in anything done under the sun." So we understand that whatever our hands find to do, we must do it with all our might. For there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where we are going. As we pointed out earlier, Jesus compares death to a sleep. And we know that righteous will be resurrected and receive immortality when Jesus comes again. We can say with confidence, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on the earth. And after my skin is destroyed, this I know, that in my flesh I shall see God. I know that this all seems very mysterious, considering that many of us have been told that our loved ones have gone straight to heaven to be with God. But 1 Corinthians chapter 15 from verses 51 to 54, it says, We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised incorruptible, and this mortal will put on immortality. Then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory.